It is my sincere belief that Imu and the Gorosei are ancient Greek gods.
Wait a minute. Isn't this the same guy that said blackbirds and octopus? In all my 12 years of life, I've never seen anyone so creditless. I don't have time for this. I'm skipping ahead.
There's 9 planets in our solar system, but have you noticed that the ancient weapons are named after planets and their Greek god counterpart? Poseidon being Neptune, Pluton being Pluto, and Uranus being Uranus. Knowing that the world government and the Gorosei correlate with the ancient weapons, this must mean that Imu and the Gorosei are the 6 remaining planets.
What the fuck?
What's up everybody? 333 VIL spells out evil, so welcome to the most evil channel on YouTube dedicated to all things One Piece. My name's Eddie, and today I'll prove to you why Imu and the Gorosei are ancient Greek gods. If you want to see more One Piece theories from me, prove it to me by liking and subscribing. But without further ado, let's dive in. The ancient weapons are 3 weapons capable of mass destruction, each taking a different form. They are known as Pluton, Poseidon, and Uranus, each named after a deity for their godly powers. The ancient weapons are not limited only to inanimate objects, but living beings as well. The ancient weapons are the argument used by the world government to forbid research about the Void Century, since they fear that the knowledge about these weapons could result into a global war. But that's not the interesting part. There's 9 planets in our solar system, but have you noticed that the ancient weapons are named after planets and their Greek god counterpart? Poseidon being Neptune, Pluton being Pluto, and Uranus being Uranus. Knowing that the world government and the Gorosei correlate with the ancient weapons, this must mean that Imu and the Gorosei are the 6 remaining planets. But here's the real kicker. Funimation gives the Gorosei the epithet or name 5 Elder Stars. 5 Elder Stars. The celestial dragons literally wear spacesuits. Are they from space? Mary Joie is viewed as heaven or Olympia. So who's to say that the top 5 men of these gods aren't named after planets, or at least their Greek god counterpart? This is further emphasized by the fact that in chapter 1018, we were introduced to a sun god by the name of Nika. Not only that, but in chapters 1022 and 1023, we find out that there was a race above the red line by the name of Lunarians, Luna being moon. Now I know that this is a lot of information to take in, so let's take a step back to understand what I'm saying. Let's start with the first ancient weapon, Poseidon, who takes the form of Shirahoshi, a mermaid living in the underwater city of Fishman Island. Yeah, she's a total crybaby, but she holds the immense power of being able to control the Sea Kings. The planet within our system named Neptune is actually named after the Roman or Greek god Poseidon. Second, we have Pluton. It is said to take the form of a huge and highly advanced warship capable of mass destruction, constructed long ago in the city of Water 7 in the Grand Line. The battleship is said to be capable of destroying entire islands. Our former planet Pluto is named after the god Pluton. Isn't that interesting? Lastly, we have Uranus. This one's quite obvious. Uranus is just Uranus. And just like Pluton, Poseidon, Uranus is a dangerous weapon which can be used to rule the world, or in the wrong hands, destroy it. It was first mentioned during Nico Robin's conversation with King Neptune that there are 3 ancient weapons that bear the name of gods. So with the 9 planets within our solar system, we now have 3 out of the way: Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto. That leaves 6 remaining: Saturn, Mars, Jupiter, Venus, Earth, and Mercury. And I'm about to tell you who's who. No, not him. So let's start with Saturn. I believe the youngest looking Gorosei member with blonde hair correlates with Saturn. Saturn is named and based off the Greek god Cronus. In Greek mythology, Cronus was the leader and the youngest of the first generation of Titans. Now we have very little information to go off of when it comes to the Gorosei, but it seems like this guy is definitely the youngest and possibly the leader aside from Imu. This Gorosei member, which I believe to be Saturn or Cronus, was actually the one that had Professor Clover shot. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't they look pretty similar? Cronus overthrew his father and ruled during the mythological Golden Age as well. Is the current world of One Piece the Golden Age for the Gorosei since they're ruling it? Next is Mars. I believe the oldest looking Gorosei member that's bald with a sword correlates with Mars. Mars is based off the Greek god Ares. In Greek mythology, Ares embodies the physical valor necessary for success in war, but can also personify sheer brutality and bloodlust. We've also seen several swordsmen in One Piece who have a serious hunger for bloodlust like Zoro, or sheer brutality like Shiryu. I believe that this Gorosei member correlates with Aries very well for the simple fact that he wields a sword. In the world of One Piece, a sword's an instant sign of battle or a warrior. With Aries being the god of war, this ties in nicely. I believe that the design of this Gorosei member is a misdirection by Oda. He's made to look calm, old, and boring, but in his past or on the inside is a serious warrior. Next is Jupiter. I believe the Gorosei member with the scar on the left side of his face who wields a walking cane to be correlated with Jupiter. Jupiter is named after the Greek god Diaz, but also commonly known as Zeus. Although the Greek god Zeus is the king of the gods, I believe Oda will draw references and parallels from Greek mythology, but not have it exactly alike. When we look at this Gorosei member and we look at Zeus, he's the one that looks most alike to Zeus. Hardly any information about the Gorosei is given to us, so we're scraping what we got. Zeus's symbols are the thunderbolt, eagle, bull, and oak. Taking a look at the scar on his face, the closest thing in resemblance to what we just listed is a thunderbolt. Him wielding a walking cane may also mean that he's older than Aries, and this might actually make sense because Zeus is the father of Aries. What's weird about this all is 20 years ago during the Ohara incident, they looked the same as they do now, so that begs the question, do they even age? Next is Venus. I believe that the tall and thin bearded man with long white hair is correlated with Venus. Venus is named after the Greek god Aphrodite. In Greek mythology, Aphrodite is actually a god of love and beauty. Now this Gorosei member appears to be that of masculine nature, so it's not an exact replica of Aphrodite. With that being said, his face bears no scars, so that may play a role into the beauty aspect. And as stated before, we have very little information to go off when it comes to the Gorosei. During the Ohara incident, he was the only Gorosei member that displayed remorse, shame, guilt, or sympathy. Does that play into the love aspect? Aphrodite's most prominent avian symbol is the dove. Knowing this, maybe he has the devil fruit power of a dove. He has the hair and beard to match one. Next is Mercury. I believe the Gorosei member that's bald with birthmark spots on his forehead to be correlated with Mercury. I came to this conclusion partly off of process of elimination. The planet Mercury is based off the ancient Greek god Hermes. Hermes was an Olympian deity who in ancient Greek was considered the herald of the gods. He is also considered the protector of human heralds, travelers, thieves, merchants, and orators. He is able to move both quickly and freely between the worlds of the mortal and the divine. In myth, Hermes functioned as the emissary and the messenger of the gods, and was often presented as the son of Zeus. Quite interesting, because they definitely look like they could be related. Hermes is also regarded as the divine trickster, so it's possible that Oda's been saving a really clever and tricky devil fruit this whole time just for him. And seeing how the world government saves and collects really rare and powerful devil fruits, it only makes sense that if the Gorosei had devil fruits, they have the trickiest ones. They have the most powerful ones. Side note, Arthur in the One Piece community believes that the Gorosei are based off actual real life people, and I bring this up because he says that this Gorosei is a Mercury human with the Merc fruit. You're on the right track, buddy. Now the moment you've all been waiting for. If you've been paying attention, you know what I'm about to say. Imu-sama is based off of planet Earth. The Greek god of planet Earth is Gaia, and the Greek personification of Earth is a goddess. Gaia was the mother of all the titans and giants. Gaia may have been originally a mother goddess worshipped in Greece before the Hellenes introduced Zeus. Less widely worshipped in historic times, Gaia was described as the giver of dreams and the nourisher of plants and young children. Is this why Imu spends time in a beautiful, healthy, prosperous garden locked in a castle? How do those plants even grow? Anyways, it is said that Gaia bore the primordial sea gods. Now this lines up perfectly. There's plenty of sea kings in One Piece, and there's a sea god, Poseidon, aka Shirahoshi. In Greek mythology, Gaia was extremely OP. Gaia had the powers of geokinesis, nature manipulation, fertility manipulation, psychokinesis, vitokinesis, which by the way, is this why the Gorosei aren't aging? Imu's probably keeping them alive with her powers rather than using a past Opi Opi no Mi. Anyways, life creation, essence reading, protogeni physiology, invulnerability, rapid regeneration, immortality, and enhanced power. In the story of One Piece, we may not see every single one of these powers, but seeing as the world government are overarching antagonists, we'll probably see most of them. Not to speculate on Imu's devil fruit, I'd say it's fairly obvious. Some type of plant devil fruit. And I actually find that to be quite interesting because up until now, we haven't really seen a plant devil fruit. We're over 1,000 chapters in, we've seen fire, ice, lightning, dark, rubber, everything you could think of except a plant. I bet Oda's been saving it for Imu. Now I know there's been speculation that Imu has the sun devil fruits, and while that may be possible, we need to remember that there's a sun god named Nika. Not only that, but Imu being earth, Nika being the sun, and the Lunarians being the moon, everything lines up perfectly. Alright, let's recap this whole theory. The ancient weapons are based off of 3 planets. Poseidon being Neptune, Uranus being Uranus, Pluton being Pluto. The ancient weapons are stated to bear the name of gods. Celestial dragons call themselves gods while wearing spacesuits and living in basically Olympia. The Gorosei and Imu must be the 6 remaining planets based or named off their Greek god counterpart. Nika being the sun god, Lunarians being the moon, Saturn being Cronus, Mars being Ares, Jupiter being Zeus, Venus being Aphrodite, Mercury being Hermes, and lastly, Imu being Earth. On the left and right side of the screen, I have more banger One Piece theories I know you'll love. If you enjoyed the video, press the like button because it's free. If you want to see more of my content, press the subscribe button with the notification bell because it's also free. Do you believe Imu represents planet Earth? If not, comment down below what you think. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day.